Hi, welcome back to Al's Kitchen. Today I'm going to be cooking my favourite starter ever, Seekh Kebab. Let's check out the ingredients. These lovely Seekh Kebabs, what we're going to need in the way of spices is 1.5 teaspoon of coriander powder, 2 teaspoons of ground cumin powder, 3 teaspoons of Kashmiri chili powder. The reason I use Kashmiri is because it's very red. It will colour the Seekh Kebabs because I don't want to use artificial colours. Half a teaspoon of fennel, crushed. 1 teaspoon of garlic salt. 1 teaspoon of garam masala. 4 green chillies. Now I've used a blitzer for these chillies, so they're really as fine as they possibly can be. If you don't have a mini blitzer, make sure you chop them really fine. Well, for a nice coloured texture, I've added 1 red chilli, again finely chopped in the blitzer, 2 cloves of finely chopped garlic, and a very small piece of ginger, very finely chopped as well. Here I have 1 tablespoon of ghee. I'll tell you what I'll be doing with that towards the end of the video. And 1 teaspoon of salt. Here I have a small handful of fresh coriander. Again, this has been very finely chopped in the mini blitzer. Again, if you don't have a mini blitzer, finely chop it by hand. Over here I have 700 grams of minced lamb. So these are all the ingredients you'll need for this recipe. Okay, let's get started. So first of all, place all the minced lamb in a large mixing bowl. Just break it up so it's not all clumped, you know, as you get it in the supermarkets. It's very simple to prepare this, to be honest. Once you've measured out all your spices, it's just a case of mixing it all together very well and making your Seekh Kebabs. Now there's quite a few ingredients in this. The reason for that is because, as I said in the intro, I really love Seekh Kebab, and there's an abundance of flavour in these, very well balanced, that's going to leave you with a very nice flavoursome Seekh Kebab. Some people just use the odd 4 or 5 spices. This range of spices is very dynamic. So just put your spices in. And we're going to, get a little bit messy. We're going to mix these all by hand. And you have to make sure when you mix these in, you mix them very well. Otherwise what you'll end up with is some Seekh Kebabs with some high concentrations of certain ingredients and not enough in other areas of the Seekh. So what we want to do is put all our chilies in there, our salt, and the coriander, and here we go. It's just a case of getting dirty now, so just start pushing these through like you're kneading bread. Sometimes I do give this a quick blitz in a food processor to give it a good mix, especially when you get a fatty minced lamb. This is the extra lean, that's all I could get on this occasion, but usually if you just get the regular minced lamb, sometimes pressing it by hand, I find that when you roll the Seekh Kebabs and cook them, they fall apart a lot easier. So what I usually do is just give it a quick run through a food processor in 2 separate batches, and then it thickens the meat mixture up, and you have a nice, more dense Seekh Kebab. First of all, it's good to do a bowl, then start rolling it and place it on the board. 2 hands, very lightly roll. Don't worry if they're a little bit odd shaped at the ends. Once they're cooked, we're just going to trim them here and here. Me being half Greek, I'm used to making kofta kebabs the Turkish way anyway, or the Greek way as my father would say. So we're used to seasoning lamb mince up. Okay, so once you've got a nice shape there, straighten it out and take a skewer and just hold the top and follow all the way through. That's it. Remember, these will shrink a little bit too because obviously they've got fat content. Keep the skewer, just say, I don't know, 1/2 centimetre from the top. You can feel it as you run it down. Yeah, the reason I left the red colouring out is I'm a little bit funny with colouring. I've had some radioactive curries in my time. I've also had some radioactive Seekh Kebabs. I remember the first time I had Seekh Kebab, they came on my plate. They looked like they come from the planet Pluto. I thought, how the hell can something that's made of lamb be so red? Obviously, as time went on and I learned how to cook myself, I realised that they'd been heavily doused in red food colouring agent. And from that time on, whenever I would order sheikh kebabs, if they came out red, obviously I would eat them. I wouldn't be so rude to send them back. But I was never really that comfortable eating them. And then I discovered Kashmiri chili powder, which is very mild, but it gives you a lovely, nice tinge of colour. And, you know, if you want more of that, put more into your sheikhs. It won't adjust the flavour too much. And if you want more heat, add more green chilies or extra hot chili powder mixed with it. Really, you control the heat yourself. And a more Turkish style kofta sheikh kebab here. So turn the grill on and preheat it. I preheated this to about 180 degrees. The element's looking quiet. And now I'm going to put the sheikh kebab in the grill. So cook those through. Usually takes about 20 minutes. Give them a turn, keep an eye on them, and we'll come back to them when they're cooked. Yeah, I think they're about done. Let's take these out. This is just a bonus twist on the sheikh kebabs. So all you need is a cast iron wok or something similar, and what we want to do is just heat it through so it's nice and hot, but then turn the flame out. We don't want to keep it burning, just keep it nice and warm. And we want one small piece of charcoal in a tiny little metal container if you have one. Right, take the small piece of charcoal, it's a real small piece, and what we want to do is ignite it. Make sure it's well lit. Adults only to do this, no children. So once that's lit, just put that in your metal container. Right, and just leave that to burn down a little. Right, so what I've done is I've melted a little butter ghee here, and what I'm going to do, before I smoke these, using that method, I'm just going to give them a quick brush of butter ghee. It does add a nice little flavour to them. You may not have had them done like this before, but I do urge you to try them like this. So now I'm going to smoke these for 10 minutes in the wok. So earlier on I showed you a little piece of coal in a tiny little metal container. That's been ignited and it's been smoking in this wok. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my masala dabba, and I'm going to put just half a teaspoon of garam masala to smoke on the coal. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the sheikh kebabs in the wok just to smoke for 10 minutes. Remember, we don't have tandoori ovens in our kitchens, and very few of us have made them for the gardens. So this is a nice little shortcut, quick remedy to smoke your sheikh kebabs. Okay, so I've simply pre-dressed a plate with some tomatoes, lemon slices, a very small amount of diced red onion, and just a few sprigs of coriander. So there you go, restaurant style sheikh kebab. Thank you so much for watching this video, it means a lot to me. If you want to see more like this, please give it the thumbs up. If you didn't really like it, just skip on to the next video. And I'd love you to subscribe to watch more of my free video food tutorials. Just click that button below, that one, is it down there, somewhere down there, or is it just there or just there? But the subscribe button, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, thank you for joining me on this culinary experience. And until next time, I'll see you. I'm Al. Goodbye.